Thank you, everybody. In her book, Braiding Sweet Glass, Indigenous Women, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants, Robin Wall Kimmerer wrote, "Among our Potawatomi people, women are the keepers of water. We carry sacred water to ceremonies and act on its behalf. Women have a natural bond with water because we are both life bearers. My sister said, we carry our babies in internal ponds and they come forth into the world on a wave of water. It is our responsibility to safeguard the water for all our relations." In the Old Testament, too, women have strong ties to water, whether it was Rebecca at the fountain quenching Isaac's thirst, or Miriam finding water in the desert as Moses led the Jews out of Egypt. And personally, as a woman and a mother, I get it. I agree with Ms. Wall Kimmerer. We have a responsibility to safeguard the water, and we must do our part. All of us have a role to play, a voice that needs to be heard. Just as they have in North Dakota, we need to stay diligent. So the question is, what can each of us do as individuals? I believe we must hold our county and state and local officials accountable for how they manage both our energy resources and our fresh water. I am thrilled that the permit for an easement under the Missouri River was denied in North Dakota. I love that so many people stood behind the Sioux and listened, but the fight doesn't fight end now for them or for us. Michigan is known as a Great Lakes state, not just because 20% of the world's supply of surface fresh water is in the Great Lakes, but also because of the thousands of inland lakes that cover this land we call home. We have seen firsthand what can happen when we try to mix oil and water. Sooner or later, the Michigan legislature and the governor must make a decision on how to proceed with the Line 5 pipeline. You've all heard about Line 5? Every day, nearly 23 million gallons of oil flow through two aging pipelines in the heart of the Great Lakes, just west of the Mackinac Bridge. Built in 1953 during the Eisenhower administration, the 20-inch diameter Line 5 pipeline, owned by the Canadian company Enbridge, is exposed at the bottom of the Straits of Mackinac. The pipeline crosses through the Straits of Mackinac, multiple rivers and streams, and in northern Michigan goes through almost 10 miles of wetlands and runs right next to many of the sparkling inland lakes. I don't envy my legislators who must decide the next steps, but we need to ensure that all that fresh water stays protected while dealing with the aging pipeline and the need to transport the oil. But they need to know, our legislators need to know, we are listening, we are watching, and we are paying attention. We can't say that it can't happen here, because it has. Take, for example, the Kalamazoo River crisis in 2010. Remember that? A 6-foot break in the Enbridge pipeline resulted in the largest inland oil spill and one of the costliest spills in U.S. history. Despite warnings of trouble, oil flowed for 17 hours before Enbridge shut down the pipeline. Because the river was reaching a peak flood stage, the oil spread quickly down the river and was carried past the shoreline the very next day. Ultimately, the oil reached nearly 40 miles downriver, coating animals and fouling 4,435 acres of land near the river's banks. It triggered a massive cleanup effort that cost the company $1.2 billion and kept the river closed for nearly 2 years. And do I even need to mention how long it's taking our government to find a solution to the Flint water crisis? All of this is what strikes fear in my heart, and I'm sure it's what struck fear in the heart of every protester, every elder, every student, every veteran, every father, brother, son, mother, daughter, sister who stood with the Sioux tribe. Accidents happen, and when they do, they're disastrous. We must ensure that those who make policy decisions understand what is at risk. the decisions they make on a federal, state, and local level matter. Just down the street on Michigan Avenue, on the way to East Lansing, is the Montgomery Drain. During rainstorms or today as snow melts, runoff from paved surfaces travels quickly through the drain, carrying engine oil, debris, and other dangerous pollutants directly into the Red Cedar River behind you. Testing along the drain found arsenic, cadmium, copper, lead, selenium, and zinc in excess of levels permissible under state rules for soil concentrations and for drinking water protection. County officials like myself, through the work being done by our drain commissioner, must assure that new and existing development sites have adequate drain systems to guard against flooding, assuring the protection of life, property, and public health. We must be diligent and use techniques to store and clean stormwater flows while also eliminating combined sewers and any illicit connections to the drain which end up in our streams. I want to thank you all for coming here today to show your support, to cheer for the decision made by the Army Corps of Engineers. But we must all continue to lend our voice for the protection of clean water, a safe environment, and a healthy world to leave for future generations. So I urge every single one of you to get to know your local elected officials. Even better, consider running for office and become one of them. The people's voice is important, and we need to make sure that it is heard loud and clear. Thank you.